guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you guys for coming back to my channel again. Today I'm going to be doing my monthly wrap up for the month of March. I know that I do these on occasion. I'm not really super consistent with it. I don't remember the last month that I did, but I did read a few good books this, in the month of March, and I thought I would share with you guys just what I read. But yeah, if you guys want to know what I read in the month of March, just keep watching. Okay guys, so the first one is Bridgerton, the Viscount Who Loved Me. This is the second book in, I don't know why I had to think about that. This is the second book in the series. I did a whole review on it. I did a review on season 2 of the show that recently just came out. I will link all of my Bridgerton related stuff down below for this specific book series. So you guys can check it out. I did a review for the show. I did one for the book itself, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I did really love this one and really did enjoy the story. Canthony all the way. But yeah, I think this was the first one because I had started it in the end of February and finished it early March. So like the first week of March. Really loved it. Was such a great read. And I totally recommend it if you want to know a little bit more about these characters and the book. Again, I will link my review down below. Okay guys, so the next book is actually Ferrara by T.L. Swan. Now with T.L. Swan, I have loved, it's like a toss-up. Sometimes I really love her stories, and then other times it's like I don't really know. It's okay. Their stories are okay. But for this one, it follows Francesca and Giuliano. I believe it's Giuliano. I think it's Giuliano. And basically it's a forbidden romance. It's a mafia romance. It basically is like, how do I explain? So basically the biggest conflict in this is that they believe that they're related, and it's a lot of drama, a lot of shocking shit happens. If you're into that, this is definitely the book for you. I will say I did enjoy it because for me, a lot of the time, sometimes books can be like too repetitive as far as like within one author, and then other times, depending on your mood, at least for me, depending on what I'm feeling at the time, maybe I need some drama, maybe I need some of this stuff. Like I can't remember how I was feeling when I read it. I think I felt like I really loved it. I didn't rate the book, unfortunately, on Goodreads at the time, which sucks. I need to do that. But I think I liked it. I think it was a really, like, just an okay read. I don't think it was incredible. I did find myself interested in like how this was going to work, because the major conflict in this story was that they believed that they were related. So yeah, I thought, like, I don't know, I was just like constantly just trying to figure out like, when are we gonna get like, okay, they're not related, because this is not gonna work if it is. Like, I'm not really into the whole like incest, like flowers in the attic thing. I can't get with that. The whole related thing kind of freaks me out. Actually, it really freaks me out. And so I was just kind of waiting to, like, you know, constantly just waiting for them to not be related. But I mean, overall, the drama was, you know, dramatic, and I feel like it was just an okay read. I will say that I was entertained reading it the entire time. But I do like T.L. Swan. I do. I remember that I learned about this story because I read The Italian, which I really did like. I really liked The Italian by her, and there were kind of like flashes, or like, you know, like what's the word, flashes of these characters in that book, and that's kind of how I was able to kind of travel over from that to this book. But yeah, it kind of just, you know, it was a good book. It was an okay one. I would rate it 3 stars. I wouldn't give it, you know, anything more than that. I think it was a good read. It was entertaining. I was able to keep up. I didn't put it down and like just forget about it. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I do like T.L. Swan's books. There are a couple of them that I've read and that I've enjoyed. I've actually wanted to do a spotlight on her books, but I've just never actually done it. I think because I need to prep a lot for those kind of videos. But overall, I like the book. I would recommend it if you're into drama, and if that's your sort of thing, you're gonna love it. But yeah, that's that for this one. Moving along. Okay, guys, so the next one is actually called Big Deck Energy, and it's by Kim Lorraine. This one follows Ethan and Elise, and this is basically like a very modern kind of love story. It is basically Elise's best friend gets her on a dating app, and she ends up, which is like totally not really what she's into, but she got on it, and she basically starts talking to this guy who has the kind of, what is it called? Username? What is it called? User ID? I don't know the name of it. I forgot. I can't remember what you call it. What's the proper, it's username, right? Your user tag or whatever was Big Deck Energy. And basically that's Ethan, and they basically start talking back and forth. And obviously there's an attraction and they like each other, but they never meet. And it takes them a while until they finally kind of get their feelings to a place where they're like, okay, we need to meet. But the whole like secret part of it all is, well, not really secret, but the whole like kind of unknown part of it all is that Ethan's actually a pro hockey player, and Elise doesn't know this at all. But yeah, this is just definitely a very cute modern love story, opposed from Ferrara, which was like very mafia and just kind of, that one is kind of almost like otherworldly in a way, and that's kind of like, I like reading those kind of books because it's kind of like almost like this could never happen kind of situation. So it's almost like escapism, which I love reading things like that kind of let me escape. But this one's just definitely a very modern kind of love story. It gives kind of like the hating game without the constant like bickering and stuff. It's just a modern setting, very realistic situation that could happen. And if you're into those kind of stories, this is definitely a cute one. I loved it. And it was just a fun, enjoyable read. So if you want to try it, definitely check it out. I will link all of the Goodreads down below so you guys can like look extensively into all of these books for yourself, but this was definitely a thumbs up for me. I really like this one. Okay guys, so the next one is actually called The Zodiac Wolves by Elizabeth Briggs, and I loved this series. I read it so quickly actually, and there are a few books already out in the series. It's still ongoing, so the final book has yet to be even written, I think. I'm so excited for that one to come out. It basically isn't set in a world where it's you know, like the zodiac packs. There's Pisces, Cancer, Sagittarius, all these different like, you know, zodiac packs, and it follows a girl named Ayla, and she basically kind of the reject of her pack because she's half human, so she's not full wolf. People know about it. She's constantly put down and kind of bullied all the time, and so she's just waiting for her coming of age so she can finally mate and be taken to her mate's pack. That's usually how it works for females, and she's just been waiting for that day so she can finally leave her family because her dad is just awful. She wasn't raised by her biological mother. She doesn't know who her mother is, and she's just ready to find her mate and go and like find a real home where people accept her, because she's constantly just has not felt loved. The only person that's ever treated her well is her brother actually, and yeah, so she's just wanting to find her way and find her path. I don't want to tell you what happens because it's really interesting, and obviously it's such a good book because there's so many books in this series. It's rated really well on Goodreads, so there's that, but I will link it down below for you guys to check out for yourselves. Definitely a fantasy book if you're into wolves and like, you know, kind of like Twilight or anything really about like supernatural stuff. This is for you. Fantasy, you're gonna love it. Found this on Instagram. I found it on a reel, and I think it was either a reel or a TikTok, but I found it on there. Saw the description, fell in love, and I was just like, I need to read this because I'm totally in the mood for something like this. But yeah, I find oftentimes that when I read a certain kind of genre of book, I usually stick with it for the month, and then eventually I'll get into something, whether it's like a sports situation or if it's like fantasy, or like if it's like about witches or werewolves, or if it's about like anything like a billionaire romance, whatever. I usually stick with it for like a month and then I move on. But with this month, I find that I've kind of mixed and matched a lot of different kind of books and different settings. So that's kind of been fun, and it's kind of been a first time in a while, I think. But yeah, this one is definitely one of my favorites in this month. So go check it out. There is, I think, let me check how many books in this series so far. Yeah, so there is 3 already. The 4th one will be out in 2023. Oh my goodness. Oh, so far away. Anyways, that one's far away, but there are 3 books for you to read. It's Moon Touched, Star Cursed, and Sun Crossed. So 3 books. Go check them out. Totally worth the read. But if you're not into fantasy, this might be a skip for you. That's all I'm saying. So, but either way, go check it out, read about it, read the reviews. People have done some really in-depth reviews. If you want to just kind of know, go check it out. I loved it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as the Zodiac Wolves, such a cool name too. If you're into Zodiac stuff like that, like you might love it too. So who knows? Give it a try. You never know unless you try. This might be the thing that gets you into kind of fantasy books. Who knows? All right, guys, so this is the last one on the roster, and this one is called Big Bossy Trouble. And this one is by Lillian Monroe, and this follows Layla and Leif. This is a interesting one because I feel like it has a mixture of realism, but then also kind of not fantasy, I would say, but kind of there's some unrealistic parts. I guess like the whole billionaire part is very uncommon, but Layla's character is very relatable to many people. But I guess Leif's character can be too, to some people. But Layla's a really hardworking girl. She has the stress of kind of having to take care of her and her sister. Her sister's a university student at, I believe it was NYU. She's studying to become a doctor, and ever since their mother had left, she has raised her sister on her own with the help of their grandparents. But the 2 of them are kind of just toughing it out. She's working multiple jobs to make sure she can pay for rent. They live in a horrible apartment, and she's just trying to kind of, you know, survive in this like jungle of a world where she's trying to make a life for herself, but also for her sister, and just trying to make sure her sister can only focus on her studies and doesn't focus on or worry about financial burdens. They have their grandparents, of course, but they're in their elderly years, and you know, she just feels like, I think also she doesn't want to smooch off her grandparents. So she's working multiple jobs, working really hard. She ends up nannying for a billionaire, that's Leif. And obviously there's some attraction between the 2 of them, and they feel something for each other, but there's that whole employee-employer kind of situation, and she doesn't want to complicate things and make it awkward because the job with him is really good. It's paying her so much more than what she's getting from her other jobs combined, and she just feels like if she jeopardizes this opportunity, it's the end of it. So she's trying to kind of keep her feelings in check, but at the same time, she really does really like Leif, and he doesn't make it any easier on her. And so this one was definitely, honestly, I enjoyed this one too. I really, really did. I love stories like this. It reminded me a lot of V. Keelan, her books. There are a few books that kind of that are kind of the same story situation, and it just reminded me back when I was reading, like when I would read her books. I used to read, you know, those books that came out in like the, you know, 2015, 2013, 2012. So it just reminded me of something like that. And I do love reading books like this too. So definitely happy that I came across it. It's definitely not something I've never heard or never read before. So it wasn't like super refreshing. It was something I have read before, but I didn't have any, you know, qualms reading it again. I really, or reading something like this again, because I didn't read this. I've never read anything from Lillian ever. My first book. This is a part of like a series. I don't know how many books, but this is the second one. But I definitely would like to go back and kind of sift through her books and see if there's anything else that I might be interested in, because I did enjoy just kind of her reading or her writing kind of style and the way she you know, make stories. So I definitely give it a thumbs up. It's rated really nicely on Goodreads, so definitely go check it out. Like I said, I will leave it down below for you guys to see, you know, so for you guys to go check out what you personally like out of any of these books. Let me know if you've read any of these books that I've mentioned today. I'm sure a few of you guys have read Bridgerton, so I know that. But if there are any of the other books that you think about trying or have tried, let me know in the comments. And let me know if you guys like these wrap-ups. I can keep doing them. I just feel like I'd rather do them when I feel like there are good books that I really enjoyed. So let me know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye.